So, I mean, the amount of history just behind here is pretty wild. Like this, for the motorcycle people, this is a North Beach leather suit. Dates back to about the 1960s. North Beach Leathers used to make like Evel Knievel's jumpsuits, Cher's stage gear, leather stuff for Elvis, all kinds of other people. So that's a suit from them. This is a Nathan Turk. So he was kind of like the making a lot of clothes for the California country people. So like the Maddox Brothers and Rose or early Buck Owens. So this is like 1960s. This is a local girl, Sasha. She's a nurse on the downtown east side who does some great work customizing for us or painting up jackets for herself. There's a piece she brought us that I can't believe is still here, to tell you the truth. A lot of people pay a lot of attention to it. This is a Manuel. So the legend that is Manuel. I look up the guy's name. He worked for Edith Head, who's probably the most prolific film wardrobe person ever. Did all the Marilyn Monroe stuff, all the James Dean stuff. He made a suit for Bubbles on the Trailer Park Boys, but he also was like designed the Grateful Dead's logo, worked for Nudie the Rodeo Tailor, and still works out of Nashville today. This shirt's really cool. So this shirt came in a pile of shirts that we had for our $25 secondhand shirt rack, and a lot of times I'll source things and look like, check the tag, see where the shirt comes from. And I'd never seen this tag before. It says Max J. Meyer Co. of Cheyenne, Wyoming. And I did some digging into it, and I discovered that the Max J. Meyer Co. of Cheyenne, Wyoming went out of business in the stock market crash of 1893. So that shirt is at least that old. And what I found out about the company was that the Meyer Company, or the Indian Wigwam Meyer Company, was started by three brothers from Prussia who moved to the United States in the 1860s. They worked first in Pennsylvania in the coal fields, and then they went to Omaha, Nebraska. From Omaha, Nebraska, they went to Cheyenne, Wyoming. Max was the oldest. He was a hat maker by trade. He was the guy considered the inventor of the 10-gallon hat. His brother, one of his younger brothers, was a linguist of the time, I guess you could say. So he spoke a lot of local First Nations dialects, and they would have, the store was in Cheyenne, so they would have Sitting Bull and all sorts of other, like, hugely iconic figures in the store because he was able to converse with them. And yeah, so Max he died in 1945. His obituary ran in the New York Times. But I mean, that shirt right there is at least 130 years old, right? Wow. You don't see that in your average like department store, so that's a pretty cool piece. What else? Here's my jacket. This is a lot of miles into this old beast. So that's.
Zach has one of those, right?
Yeah, he's got one of one of the ones I made. So yeah, it's actually 3 vests that all come together to make one. But yeah, everywhere I go, everywhere I ride, I always pick up. It's easy to put pins and patches in your pockets, right? Not a lot of storage on motorcycles, so a little bit, but not enough. For the store, I mean, these are some of our custom pieces here. So like this jacket was just done, or the Bowie jacket. Like our store's a combination of new and vintage, right? So the front section is mostly all going to be like all the hats are new for the most part. Secondhand boots in the front section. Outerwear back here is going to be secondhand. New clothing up front. New boots on the wall there. You see our big boot wall. Like, I mean, last time we counted, there was like 700-800 pairs of boots in the store. So we've got quite a few. And yeah, we've got, with that, we've got price points to kind of meet all budgets. I mean, we've got, this is Stingray boot or gator skin, or on the new wall, like snake skin stuff. I mean, new boots are going to start around the $300 mark. Secondhand boots are going to start around the $100 mark. So whatever you need, come by. We've got hats starting at $30, shirts starting at $25. And up to including all kinds of price points from there.
Cool.
Yeah. This is where we spend most of our days, and we plot our various events and stuff that we're up to. Some of my art up there as well, the good, the bad, and the ugly pieces. It's, in my opinion, the greatest movie ever made. People are free to disagree with me, but it's a pretty good one any way you shake it. Then we got a lot of stuff like a lot of our, I mean, our customers are awesome, and some of our customers are really amazing artists and musicians in their own right, and they give us stuff like that drum skin up there. It's my boys in the picture books. They're from Germany. Their drummer's a big heavy hitter, plays with mallets, and that's a drum skin that he smashed out and signed for me to Dirty Dan. We're right next to it. It kind of shows the duality of the shop. So you got German punk rock, hard rock band next to a beautiful homemade moose tan dene vest, all hand embroidered. Yeah, we got a lot of cool. There's a Nudie shirt right there. So Nudie the rodeo tailor, if anybody's ever heard of him, he made all the fancy, wonderful bedazzled suits for country singers, country stars. And one of his shirts is right there. Nathan Turk again next to him. As you can see, we pile a lot into the store, and this is actually the 4th location of the store that since originally opened in 1971 as the Western Town Boots. It was at 148 East Broadway then. In the mid-'80s, that building burnt down. We actually have a file folder from the original owner with sad poems that he wrote about the 1,000 lost souls, SOLES, in the fire. And then from there, it moved to the Bank of Montreal building at the corner of Broadway and Main, and that's now Money Mart, but it was there for 10 years. Then it moved to Broadway in Quebec in 1999, where there's a big smoking hole now where they're building up for the new subway. And we moved here and opened here February 8th of 2018. One of our customers just walked by there. Yeah, and we've been here ever since, and like it's, we've had the opportunity to build up, which is nice. Get the ceilings a little higher, so you don't have like fluorescent tubes. At the old store, there was one of those big like heaters that hung right above my head, and I kind of always assumed I was gonna get squished like the Wicked Witch under it one day. But managed to make it through. It said Resner on the side too. Every time I saw it, I just nailed a wish in my head. But yeah, I mean, as far as that goes, a lot of amazing. I mean, we really revel in the history of both rock and roll and the West in this store. Like, there's a picture, we sell Lucchese boots. There's a picture of John Wayne getting Lucchese's made, or like Frederick Remington piece up there. There's a big piece. This is Bill Pickett, the Bulldogger. So Bill Pickett was, he's an Oklahoma cowboy who is credited as the inventor of modern steer wrestling, known as bulldogging. The reason it was called that, the reason why he called it that, was because he learned it as a boy watching literal bulldogs wrangle bulls. And so his technique was he would jump off the horse, grab the bull by the horns, reach down, bite it on the upper lip, and then drop, right? He later died, got kicked in the head and died, but he's buried on the 101 Ranch in Oklahoma. Miller Brothers 101 Ranch, which is like kind of the competition of the Buffalo Bills Wild West show. And this poster here is an original movie poster. They made a silent film about him in 1920. No full versions of it still exist, but you can see clips, you can YouTube it. Yeah, so that, and we got it from the set sale for a TV show called Man in the High Castle, which we did a lot of work with. And up there, speaking of Buffalo Bill, there's an old Buffalo Bill Cody poster for when he would have been coming to town to show off his Wild West show. Lots of skulls, lots of painted skulls in here too. A lot of skulls I've painted. That one there. Dave, his wife is also quite the amazing artist, so there's some of her work also. Yeah. Howdy.
Hi.
How are you today?
Nice outfit.
Thank you.